Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Texan News Scoop, your weekend review of this week's top stories from the campus, region, and beyond. Today is July 2nd, 2015, and I'm Katy Tonkin.
I'm Clifford Jones. This week's stories are: Tarleton implements a new leadership program, Tarleton receives funding for a $54 million applied science building, Erath County will comply with new same-sex laws, BP pays billions in oil spill damages, and a ferry capsizes in the Philippines.
In campus news, according to the Tarleton website, Tarleton State University will be implementing a new leadership program. The Texas Pioneer Leadership Program will be offered next spring. The new program is made possible by a $150,000 grant from the Texas Pioneer Foundation to Tarleton's nationally recognized School of Criminology, Criminal Justice, and Strategic Studies. This program is offered to all students, no matter your undergraduate pursuits. Tarleton's Texan Pioneer Leadership Academy will offer one of the most complete professional development experiences available in North Texas, said President Tavio.
As part of a $3.1 billion bill to the Texas A&M system, Tarleton will receive a $54 million applied science building. Here is this week's Texan Scoop.
We'll run anywhere from, we'll fill this thing.
In the last 6 years, enrollment in engineering technology has almost tripled and is expected to continue outgrowing its current facilities.
Well, for our department, what we have is this building, and we have our downstairs building, which was built in 1954. It's had a couple of foundation jobs done on it because the foundation's given away a few times. Roof is kind of iffy, no air conditioning. We have got the last miles out of that building about 10 years ago, so I'm not too sure what we're on right now. We're running on fumes.
Construction on campus is hard to ignore. OA grants renovations, along with the construction of new residence halls, raises this question: why is the building barely being planned now?
It's been virtually 8 years since there was another approval of money from the legislature to build new buildings. The renovation of OA grant was based on money that was not appropriated by the legislature from other sources. So this is really important for Tarleton to be able to build this building.
That means the last state funding that Tarleton received went toward the construction of the nursing building. There were, however, those that did not want the funding to be approved. Assistant Vice President of Marketing and Communication Harry Batson said there were some opponents to the whole bill because they felt like the university should spend cash on building a lot of the university buildings instead of funding it through bonds that have to be repaid later. However, instructors on campus see it as a necessary improvement to what the university has now.
We get students coming out the door that have not only a lot of the engineering analysis skills that you get out of a traditional engineering program, but they have hands-on skills that makes them very unique, because not everybody gets that kind of thing.
I understand it, and the way that labs are done has been evolving over the last few years to more open labs and multifunction labs, and so the facilities that we have now, in both engineering and engineering technology, are more of the old kind of standard labs that kind of have fixed equipment in places. This is a great opportunity for us to modernize our lab facilities in a way that will make them much more usable and flexible for what students need and for what future students will need. We're very excited about this. This is something we've been hoping for almost 6 years.
Construction on the building is not scheduled to begin until the fall of 2016, and even still will not be completed until the fall of 2018 at the earliest. Reporting for Texan News Service, I'm Clifford Jones.
In regional news, according to the Empire Tribune, Gwenda Jones, Erath County Clerk, has issued a statement saying the county will comply and begin issuing same-sex marriage license. On June 26th, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled same-sex marriage legal across all 50 states. It is a fundamental right afforded to all couples and a right protected by the 14th Amendment that states all citizens are to be given full and equal benefits of the law. According to the Associated Press, trying to close the book on the worst offshore oil spill in U.S. history, BP agreed Thursday to provide billions of dollars in new money to 5 Gulf Coast states, in a deal the company said would bring its full obligation to an estimated $53.8 billion. Federal and state government officials touted the record-breaking $18.7 billion as a historic milestone in the Gulf Coast recovery. The Deepwater Horizon disaster killed 11 rig workers and spewed millions of gallons of crude oil that stained beaches, coated wildlife, and polluted marshes.
In international news, according to the Associated Press, a ferry in the Philippines carrying 189 passengers capsized after leaving a central Philippine port into choppy waters. It left at least 35 dead and 20 others missing. Coast Guard officials and survivors said they weren't sure what caused the 36-ton ferry to overturn. They said at least 134 people from the incident were rescued. Among the survivors, there were at least 3 Americans and 1 Canadian. Thanks for tuning into this week's episode of Texan News Scoop, a product of the Texan News Service from the Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas. Today's show was produced by Keanu Perez and Harley Brown, and I'm Katy Tonkin.
I'm Clifford Jones. Thanks for watching, and have a good
great week.